Hi, welcome. This is another special reading because of there's certain information that a lot of us need to know. There's certain there are things that a lot of us are not aware of. A lot of men and women gets a bad name from certain energies, certain situation that is going on that they themselves is not aware of. So, what is the subject going to be about? It's going to be about for the Pheromone. Now, that is something that people gives off from their energies. Okay, what is that? Okay, some people can have chemistry. Okay, chemistry is what you feel when you come in contact with another human being. The chemistry can be sexually tinkled chemistry. Okay, now the Fermi um, the sexual chemistry that I'm going to talk about is something that a lot of us on this planet is not aware of. Some people is aware of it. If you do uh, relationship therapy, I don't think they're so deeply because this is more of a spiritual level information that is going to be coming out. So this video can be an hour long, and the rest you can pick up on the demand because there is just going to be a lot of information that is coming out. Okay, so each and every one of us gives off certain sort of sexual chemistry with another person. Okay, so some of you can realize that you're in relationship, but the chemistry was there in the beginning and then the chemistry died. Now, not all people have that. There are some people on this planet that have it's pheromone. Okay, what it is that you can be in the presence of someone and you feel as if you want to go to bed with this person. Okay, there is a lot of misconceptions about dark-skinned men, that they're always sexually they're all over the place sexually. But why is this? Is because of something that a lot of people doctors can know about this if they study the sexual chemistry between two people. Sexologists can know about this, but this is something that has plagued humanity for a lot of time, a long time, ever since the days of cavemen, and no one ever talks about it. And it so happens that I come in contact with someone and then I was like, oh yeah, wow, this does happen, because I spent most of my life with different culture people, not having that same connection with brown skinned men because I'm not in proximity of them. Now, it was something that was mind-blowing in the sense that why it was mind-blowing, it was that I was like, oh my God, there are so much of these men that gets, you know, they're being put down because, and sometimes they're not aware of what is going on with them and why are they so promiscuous. And it's not really promiscuous, it is a sense that they give off certain hormone. Now, the majority of these people that have this sort of a hormone, it is 90% or let's say 75% of men has it, and 25% of women have it. Okay, so what it is a certain chemistry that you give off. Okay, so let's say the first time you meet someone, you feel the chemistry. Maybe you meet the person, you look in the eyes, and then you feel whatever. But uh, sometimes when the person touches you or you touches the person, that's when this surge of energy can go through your body, your whole body, or eye connection. By looking in someone's eye, you're looking deeper in their soul, and there can be such a strong pull of magnetic pull to you. Now, there are some dark skinned men, and this was studied that it came from the African descendants. Okay, so if you or a man that is sexually entangled, that you can come in proximity with someone else and you feel that urge to go to bed with them, it's because you're sending off a sort of pheromone. Okay, it's a sort of a energy that you're sending off. Now, most of the people that this affect is very dark skinned people or people with African descendants. Okay, and it's not been studied to see in the Caucasian. I don't know if anyone has studied this in Caucasian people, but in the mixed men, Moroccan, Middle Eastern, European men has that, because they're coming from, like, the Moroccans are African of sin, the Turks are Africans of sin, and these men seems to be sometimes very sexually inclined to having multiple partners, and that is where we came back to polygamy in Africa, in different cultures, is because certain men send off a sort of a chemical energy that attack the women. Okay, so let's say you stand beside someone in a bus, or you sit beside someone in a church, or you sit beside someone of the opposite sex, can be the same sex, it depends, because 25% of women in this world have it. Women that choose to work in the sex industry, that choose to work, not is pushed, tend to realize that they have it. So it is that they're inclined always to be in intimacy with all the time and with different people. Okay, they basically go with different people because of their energy, the chemistry that they send off. Okay, so a lot of people for years, ever since the beginning of lifetimes, the black men tends to have, or the colored men tends to have a lot of women, and a lot of cultures have this. And what we see happen with the studies with the Hispanic and that sort of a thing, the thing is that they have African descendants in them, even though they will not accept it. If you follow the bloodline of a Moroccan, because Morocco is Africa, of Turks, because there is the integration of the East Europeans and the Africans that mean to become the Turks, and the Italians, the Spaniards. So we're looking at the old world coming into the new world. So we're looking at the old world, which is Europe, coming in the new world, which is America. Now, this is something that not a lot of people talk about, but it's so how comes, which I am so interested in people and things and situation, And that is the reason why I was like, oh my God, there are so many men that is just caught up in this old thing. And I'm not giving this video for you men that sleeps around to use this as something to sleep around, because some people sleep around because one, they get the offer to. Two, some of them are just really hungry. Three, it has to do with the chemical, the intimacy, the energy from intimacy that they gives off. And this is why soulmates and twin flame, not everyone that connects with a soulmate is going to have an intimate relationships. There's different. A twin flame is the break off of a, it's, think about a new star that is a star that explode in the sky. Okay, each and every bit of star in the olden days, people always said is the soul of people who have crossed over. For normal and people who are spiritual, multidimensional beings and crystal children and starseed knows that this isn't true. They knows that in the star there are millions of solar system, millions of stars. But look at the star as a soul, okay? So let's say, look at the star as a soul. So with the combustion of a star that is going to combust, there is 13 counterparts, okay? So each and every person are basically 13 counterparts. Some studies give 12. It depends on what solar system you're from, what dimension you're from. Are you a multi-dimension beam, or your star seed, or your crystal child, or your blue a blue blood? There is just so much of us on this planet, okay? Now the multi-dimension and the star seeds seems to have these information, okay? And that was something I've never touched on because it didn't really, I knew of it because by studying the soulmate, okay, because the soulmate is just the other half of you. A soulmate has your opposite polarities. So let's say you are, you're so connected because soulmate, you see your ego in the other person, okay, because the other person is connected to you. It's like a heart, okay? This is the heart, and half of your heart is for the other person. And putting both these two pieces of heart together, it becomes one, and that becomes the soulmate. And this is why at this moment, for the planet to ascend, we need to find all the soulmates comes together. Now, not everyone at this moment on this planet has a soulmate. Some of you, your soulmate is in the spirit world that you connect with through the dream time or the sleep time, or for the people who are in the fifth dimension, when you go astral travel. A lot of people astral travel to be with their twin flame because their twin flame is in the spirit world. Some of them connect with each other. Now for people, if you're at 33-6, you carry the energy of a twin flame. So that means your twin flame is available and is on this planet at this time. So if you're at 33-6, you have a twin flame, your twin flame is available and is on this planet at this moment. So the twin flame is that when you meet your twin flame, you basically know that is the person. You cross path with someone and they look in your eyes and it's as if that person touches your soul. It's as if there is nothing you can say to that person. The person knows everything you're saying, feeling, without even you saying a word. And this is what happened to the twin flame soul flame relationship, is because you are the other half of the other person. So you connect on a soul level, not on a sexual level, not on an intimate level, but you connect basically on a soul level. And this is why when twin flames meet each other, it's like a combustion of so much energy, um, intimacy. Um, like some people say, I went to the star and back. I was at cloud 9 and way beyond. It's because that person, not only in a intimate way, but also they touches your soul. And this is how you understand that that is your soulmate. That is the person that was meant for you. So what happened is that, coming back to the subject, is that whenever you sit across the table from a person or see a person in a crowd across the table, and you look in that person's eyes, or wherever you are, and you look in that person's eyes, when you feel as if you connect with this person really on a soul level, you know that that is your soulmate. Okay, so a lot of people always come up, oh, I know it's my soulmate. Yeah, but how do you know the person is your soulmate? You can think because of the intimacy it's your soulmate, but it's not really the intimacy alone. It's the connection that two people cannot be alone apart from each other, because they have this connection that they need to be with that person no matter what is going on. And this is why twin flame relationships are so hard, because of the issue of the connection of, this is from a soul level and not from the heart. Okay, so you have the soul, which is the twin flame, and you have the heart, which is the soulmate. Okay, so whenever two soulmate touches, there is always an awakening. It's as if one is the lock and the other one is the key. And whenever your soulmate touches you, it is something that is different. The chemical attraction between you people strike is like it strike such a powerful energy that is flowing through your body and the other person's body. It's as if it's electrocutive feeling. It's surprising for a lot of people, because they're like, whoa, what is that? I have had that before, and I was like, okay. And basically, because you always kind of, the build is always basically the same. If you are, brown people, or your mix, your soulmate always come brown or mix, or let's say your mix, you can go with a Caucasian, your soulmate comes up in the form of Caucasian. A lot of soulmates come back in opposite race and culture, because they choose to learn from that place. Okay, because some soulmate, if you're 33, 60, you're not coming back to this planet, and even if you come back, you will come back in as an angel or as an ascendance master. Okay, because you carry a very high powerful energy vibration. Okay, multi dimensions and star seeds are here to teach the earthlings, and we call them earthlings because some people were just born on this planet and keep on reincarnating on this planet, so they're from this planet. Okay, many years ago, when this planet had just begun and just started, it was a planet of vacation. But then, and here is where a lot of people from different solar system had come. There was an intergalactic war, because some light beings wanted to take over this planet. People call them UFOs. They're not really UFOs, because they're part of our DNA structure. Okay, a lot of people do not believe in certain forms of energy and certain things, but they do consider, and all of us have the reptilian DNA. Whether or not we want to accept it, we do, okay? So, as we go from that, because especially earthlings, they came down and they basically wanted to take over the planet. So they interrace with us, okay? And there's certain blood group. You need to check out my website where I break down all the blood groups to let you know who you are. And your blood group basically tells you when you reincarnate on this planet. Now, blood group A and O positive. A and O positive are the oldest existence member of this planet. That means we came in when the planet had just been invented, okay? So we know just about so much information. We hold so much information in our DNA, okay? A lot of people who do not feel at home on this planet and do not understand why there is so much hate, there's so much fear, there is so much jealousy and that sort of a thing, is that you're not of this planet. And that is the reason, because the solar system and the planetary system that you're from doesn't carry these heavy vibrational energy of hate. And if you notice the people who carries that vibration, they're earthlings, because that's the only thing they know. They only know survival, okay? They have more animal instinct in their DNA, while you as a person who can't understand why is it so harsh, why is the hate so heavy on this planet, is because you're multi-dimension, okay? You are from different solar system, because most solar system, they're peaceful. It's not everyone that is, you know, like this. It's like they make the movie The Planet of the Apes, and people will think, yeah, that doesn't exist, okay? You need to break down and remove the illusion to understand what is life and what is existence is all about, okay? That's just a lot you need to understand. So we're going back, and we're going back to understand something. Now, this I have experience, because I research things. And if you notice my books are very, you have to understand where we're going, the way I explain things in my book. And this is why I want to do this video, because I think a lot of men have been, you know, getting the wrong, it's as if they are being put in a sort of a thing that men sleep around, but women sleep around also. But if you notice, women sleep around less than men. And men can sleep around and it's okay, but a woman sleep around and she is seen as the B word or the S word. So we are going to really focus and look at things and try and understand things before we're going to start to judge the other person. Now, there's some men, and these are men that are health freaks who eat healthy. Some of them don't eat meat. Some of them are vegetarians. Some of them have been vegetarian since their whole lifetime. And they don't use natural products, okay? Like, they don't shampoo with the same thing that you and I will use with perfume and that sort of a thing. Because, God, I love to smell good. You know, even I just love to smell good. I don't know. It's just something that, you know, I have to shower, and then I put after my shower, I have to put my bath oil and that sort of a thing, because it keeps your skin healthy. Because I'm just one of those people, I don't wear makeup because of the sense. I can't put makeup on. It's not my sort of a thing. And once I have it on, I just keep on scratching. So I just realized at a young age, it's nothing for me. But these men, they're very healthy, very health freak, sports a lot, and the rest of it. Now, what happened is that their chemical imbalance is clear. Like they drink a lot of water, they drink sports thing, but they eat healthy and they go for the healthy stuff. And what happened is that their chemical balance begins to change. So what transpired is that they started giving off this pheromone that is so powerful. Now this pheromone tricks the women in. So if if you're very interested in to understand species and animals, if you notice, there are certain birds that give off a sort of or they spread their wings, and when they want to mate. Well, it's the same thing with these men. They don't really want to mate. They just want to interact with you in an intimate way. And it gives off this pheromone that is so powerful that if a woman doesn't stand strong, she gets carried away by this whole sense. And this is why I think that a lot of people, because a lot of men have been judged harshly because they sleep around, but they themselves are not aware what it is why they sleep around, because people like us that is aware of it then will understand, because this is something that, and I love my cousin so much, we can just talk about a lot of things. There was someone who I met, and I remember I stand in front, and I was like, and I was looking at the person, I was like, damn. And but I constantly see the person, and I would be standing in the same room with the person. I'm like, hold on, I'm sure this person is not even aware what is going on with them. And it is someone, sometimes they're not aware, because this person was basically not aware. I was saying to I said to my cousin, I said, so, and she said, damn girl. And I was like, okay, tell me. And she said, I was like, she said, yeah, I knew someone who also have that, and I had to tell him what was going on. Now, if you're a health freak and you don't wear deodorant, you don't wear perfume, this happens to you because your chemical balance is different. Now, what we're seeing, and basically I'm like spending hours trying to find out what group of society this affect, and it affect mostly black men, people with heavy African descent. Now this person is not totally African descent, and this was what really pushes me to make this video, because this person was someone who is not a full African descent. They had dark skin, but they weren't from African descent. And this person, I basically didn't know, and I was like, whoa, okay. So my cousin and she went there, she started to look at it. Look, it's not only that this have the energy of tracking the opposite sex or tracking a sexual partner, it is also with food. There are some people who has it with food. There are some people who have it. There was food, there was intimacy, food, intimacy, and I saw it's like you track someone to you, and you have this magnetic pull that you're pulling people to you and not even understanding, and you could be just standing there talking to someone, and it's all of a sudden. And this is what I say to people, we are all energy, and you need to understand, you are not as solid as you think you are. We're all energy. We all have our cells orchestrate our own music. This is why some people glow. This is why some people can just step in a room and their presence is there because of their aura, the aura that someone actually has. And um, for the people who read aura, you know what I mean. Because you can see the energy of someone, because the aura tells you what energy the person is giving off, whether the person is happy, whether the person is sad, whether the person is friendly, whether the person is a healer. It gives off, and as you read someone aura, you know exactly what they have. Because like sometimes I'm doing the video and then you will see like light around me, because there you can see my aura. Some people can see it, some people can't see it. And now it is pure white, because I'm coming from a place of purity. Okay, so if you're not an honest person, it will be dark or musty or gray. That is the energy. If you're not an honest person, you see it. And for people like us, we're very sensitive to energy, and we're very sensitive to other people. We can walk in a room and know exactly, it's like we have an antenna, we go around the room and we can pick out certain people that carry certain energies, okay? So the new age, and this is something, what is coming up, because the new age, as from this year 2019, we're going to be shifting at the end of this year. Basically in the new year, it's all begin, but now it's going to be coming up more. So a lot of people have to be aware, because what is going to be happening, and what is happening on this planet at this time, is that people are beginning to awake. And this awakening has been going on from 2012. But a lot of people are having situation and issue that they are afraid to talk about. They're seeing shift in they're seeing shift in existence. It's as if they could be walking, and then it's as if they see a slide, a shift, and it looks the same, but it's not the same. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that is going to be happening, but this is very important, because a lot of women can get themselves in trouble, and a lot of men can get themselves in trouble, which this has been going on for a very long time, that men are being cursed out because they sleep around. Yes, they sleep around because they're carrying and they're giving off and sort of an energy. There is a bird, there's a peacock. I know the peacock, when he wants to mate, it opens up his has the flowers. There's a couple other animals, when they want to mate, there are certain things that they give off. They give off this pheromone, and this is what men have, but it is so strong by the African descendants. And this is what I always say to people: you can never ever say that you're not African. Okay, like there is just one thing I always say to people: I was not a monkey. Okay, I don't care what. Say that I'm a tadpole, I come from a fish, but not a monkey. I was never an ape. And that is one constituent that a lot of people have about black people, that if black people are apes, everyone is apes. Okay, so I always tell people, I come from a tadpole. A tadpole. If you look at the baby and the fetus, that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like a monkey. There is no tail. So whatever people are given about the ape, and in the olden days, the cave people had to have hair on their bodies to keep them warm, because they weren't aware. And it is the problem of Eve. Adam and Eve, the story of Adam and Eve. Now, Eve, a lot of people wasn't aware of what transpired. Eve and Adam was placed in the Garden of Eden. Now, Eve met a friend in the day, and that friend told her and showed her how beautiful it is if she went in intimacy with Adam. So of course she has nothing to do listening to this friend that just came along and showing her and telling her all about it. And this is the reason why we're living in a society like this, and why we no longer live in the Garden of Eden, is because Eve decided to kill the cat. Okay, so Adam came home from work and Eve decided to kill the cat. And here we are, being messed up as ever, because if only Eve did not kill the cat, we'll all be in the Garden of Eden, okay? So it's like putting it in a very diplomatical way. So in other words, Eve, I think you should have kept your legs closed. But anyway, you have done it and we all suffer for this. So what is happening is that after that has happened, they needed to have clothes because they were walking around naked in the Garden of Eden. So, you know, Source created think, okay, so, you know, we have to find a way so that they can, you know, get, you know, hair on their skin so that they can keep warm. Now, it is so dumb that people are not intelligent enough to understand what happened. All of us is from Africa. Whether or not you want to believe it, we're all from Africa. What has transpired was that in the days, Africa was the place to be. After the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria and that sort of a thing, Africa was the place. Africa was like the richest continent. Africa was where, if you notice the pyramid in Africa, the only other place you have you know, strange phenomenons is in South America. But Africa and South America was like the place to be. So what happened is that people decided to immigrate to Europe. So as they immigrate alongs the border, they become lighter and lighter and lighter. And in Europe, there was already they were already, oh my God, they were already, you know, if you notice, some Irish people, Scottish people always have red hair and blue eyes. Now, these are the Gaelic people. And the Gaelic people were beautiful, very light, white skin, not Caucasian, because the Caucasians are different. Very light skin with blue, red hair, some blonde, okay? But very deep blue eyes. Now, as we go further, going back to Russia, and if you notice, some Russians look Asiatic. And this is it. A lot of people are not intelligent enough to understand not to discriminate. Because if you go back in your gene, you will find out that you are so African more than, you know, adult person. A Caucasian can have more African DNA than a Caucasian. And why? Is because you all came from Africa, but you migrate to Europe. And then as the further you went in Europe, is the lighter the skin complexion become, and then you become. So if you notice, then the whole world is actually Africa, not Europe. But a lot of people say Europe because a lot of people came from European countries to America. So there is a lot of, you know, people are not and will not open up and educate themselves to understand why is there so many multicultural, or why is there so many different cultures, and this is what is happening. And that brings you back to the person. You can be very light skinned, you can be a Caucasian, and you give off this pheromone also because you have African genetic bow. So when we stop giving our bodies certain toxic or certain food, and we come back to the right balance of alkalining our bodies, then our normal energy begins to strawl, begins to flow out. And you know, that is why certain women, men have, so it says, bam, you know, like certain women will just walk in a room and it's like the highs of the men, because that is it. It's all about the hunger within us, how we hunger for the opposite sex, but we also hunger to be connected with someone. Like in the olden days, the men would like the big trapped in women because they know that those women could have kids and have a lot of kids. Now people like me would never get anyone because I was so skinny, and I didn't have a, you know, skinny people would not have gotten the chance because they think that in childbirth they're going to be die after childbirth because they weren't, you know, they didn't have enough. So we have to educate ourselves, and I realize that we as a species on this planet is not educated enough to understand why people do certain things. Okay, we can't just judge people. So the men and women who have been getting this backlash about being so sexual promiscuous, there is two different ones. There's ones where as a child, if you were sexually if you were sexually yeah yeah, some people can bring this in, you know, as an adult and grow up as an adult being sexually because they were, as a child, they were abused. Okay, some people, but some people basically have it that they feel, and it can be just one thing that happened to someone that makes them be afraid of connecting with someone else and just wants to be with different people because they're afraid to get hurt. They could have gotten hurt when they were young. They could have been, there is just so many reasons where, but some people can be also rude and, you know, treat other people disrespectful. And that's where you need to find that balance, because whatever you give out, you're going to be receiving. And as you guys can see, a lot of people are getting this backlash of karma, that they're wondering, why are all these things are happening to me? Just like I say to you, whatever you give out as thoughts about someone else, it is a boomerang that come back to you. So whenever you do something against someone else, expect it, something negative, expect it to be a boomerang to you. So a lot of women and men has been so much you know, treated, you know, injustice because their partner and they themselves is not aware of what exactly is going on with them, and it's because their PhD value is in balance. So whatever comes in, it is so purified that they're giving off this pheromone as if, you know, and women are like, oh my God, you know, and women tends to fall in the hands of these men because they themselves are not aware that they're giving off this sort of a hormone. You know, like some people like to smell other people's sweat. It's not freaky. There's nothing wrong with that. It depends on how, and everyone, each and every one of us have a little weird thing about us. Okay, so don't judge other people. And this is really a video about not judging these people who are. Now, the best way to deal with this issue is basically that the person begins to wear deodorant or something to break the PhD value. Okay, because a lot of people, especially people who have gone through cancer and that sort of a thing, understand what it is to have your PhD value level really good. Because what happened is that with cancer, it is basically each and every one of us has cancer cell. Some are active, some are not active. It depends on what we eat and who we are as a person that it will activate. Okay, if you're someone who's inverted, and you work on things when you're pissed off. You take it inwards, and that's where it crave on you. You activate your you basically activate your cancer cell, because what happened is that outrovert people basically don't have cancer. You have people that smoke their whole life, never have cancer. You have someone who has never smoked their entire life, never drank their entire life, and they have cancer. And people keep on thinking sometimes it's the food that we eat, because certain food activate our cancer cells. But that is like another story that we can go deeper in. So it's about educating yourself. It's about understanding why certain people behave certain ways and do certain things. Now, women does have this, and a lot of black women tends to have this, that they attract men to them. And it's because they're giving off this pheromone. Just like black men are the ones who always like have 3-6 women, because they can't control the urge, because they're giving off this pheromone, and these women are attracting. They're actually attracting. It's like a squirrel. A squirrel. He can give off that stinky little thing, because that's the mating thing to, you know, call upon these female counterpart. So, you know, we are all, you know, if we study the animals, the behavior of animals, you can also see the behavior in human beings. And when we're understanding that we're no more further from an animal, it's just that we use 10% of our brain cells, while some animals don't use any, and some animals don't have a brain, basically. Some, or some, you know, just a little thing that can, you know, let them see, eat, and but not much. So, you know, forgive men that sleeps around a lot. Some of them, and it's easy to find out if your partner is like this, and this is why I'm doing this video, so we can, because coming up the next 5-10 years, the intimacy level on this planet is going to explode, okay? Because as people begin to cut out certain foods, these like these things were placed, we hold these things back because we eat certain foods, so that doesn't, it's just like someone who smokes. If you smoke cigarettes, the day you stop smoking or the year you stop smoking, you basically, the taste in your mouth is back, and you're like, oh my God, it's like, woo, that tastes so good. Well, that's the same thing that these men and women have. It's because they give off this pheromone, so they attract all these opposite sex, or the same sex, can be opposite sex, can be same sex, and they're not aware of what is happening to them. Like some women know, I can walk in a room, and depends on what I have on or what I don't have on, I will attract that people are going to turn around and take a look, you know? As I always say to my girlfriend, when I was young, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a two-turn look. That means you look at the guy once, damn, okay, twice, and then maybe the third time you look at him, you think, okay, all right. You know, that sort of a thing, because women are attracted to certain people, and it depends on who you are. I think some women look at shoes, some women look at teeth, some women look at the nails. Men are the same, because, you know, men, I mean, Eddie Murphy, if you watch that movie from Eddie Murphy, Ugly Toes, yes. And so men and women are attracted by the opposite sex or the same sex, and I respect everyone, whether you're heterosex, bisexual, whatever. It is your life, it is your movie, it is what you want to do. Let no one else basically takes you away from that. And the whole purpose why I'm doing this is because some people need to understand that someone doesn't basically goes out there to attract another female or to attract another man. It's because their energy vibration, their pheromone is giving off this mating. It's like mating, okay? Let's call it mating, because you don't really have to couple up with this person to have a child or something like that. It's like mating. It's like people who does one night stands. Is that they have this. It's the urge. It's the, you know, the connection. While on the other side, for the twin mate and soulmate, they will never know. They will never get connected in a relationship like that because they will feel it at the same time. So once you're in a twin flame soulmate relationship, you will basically feel it at the same time. And if you are also in one of these relationships, the way to find out if your partner is just doing it because he's just bloody greedy, or he or she is just greedy, or there is that they're giving off this pheromone. And you know something, I think people should start studying yourself and understand yourself. Why is it that I feel that I am hungry for intimacy all the time? That is a question that you should ask yourself. And you know, the easiest test to do is to see what happens if you stand in the middle of a group of women. How do they look at you and how do they connect with you? Okay, because some men has it, and some men use it to attract the opposite sex, but never understand what it is they have. There is some men who is just who basically has it, you know, and some men who attract people from, you know, looks or connecting with the eyes, because some people who manipulate energies knows exactly how to do that. And this is when you need to find out the shift. Is it that this person is using magic because there is magical spell, magical love spell? A lot of people does it, which you're not even aware of, because sometimes you get yourself in these relationships and you're wondering, okay, I know this is not right for me. Why am I attracting this person? Why do I feel this way for this person? It's because some of them use magical love spells and that sort of a thing. Now, the situation with love spell is that it's wrong. Any spell is wrong. You know, no matter. If it's a spell to bring peace and harmony in your life and to bring balance in your life, it is good. But once you use spell to have an effect on someone else because you want that person in your life, it's wrong. And what is going to happen is that it's going to affect you in the long run, okay? Because whenever people do magic spell, you can know whenever a relationship is not supposed to meant to be. You can know when two people is not supposed to meant to be. Sometimes a lot of people judge other people. They will see this gorgeous, gorgeous guy and this real ugly woman, okay? It's not ugly, people. It's that not everyone choose the way they want to look, okay? But in some cases, it is twin flame and soulmate. And in some cases is that one of them could have used magical spells to hold the other one, okay? So these things do happen and you need to be aware of this. And if you find yourself that you are inclined to be attracted to someone who there is no way in this lifetime or another lifetime you would have gotten involved with that person, it can be magic spell that they use to attract you, but it can also be pheromone, okay? When it's pheromone, it's that you're in the room with that person and the only thing that you feel you want to do, it is so to connect with that person. It is so to be intimate with that person, and it's as if it's something you have never felt before. For some people it depends, because for some people it can be also past life reaction, because sometimes you will meet people who you feel connected to and it's from a past life, but you know that it's not the type of person you would be looking for, but the connection is so humongous strong that you feel magnetically drawn to the person, not knowing what it is. And that can be pheromone. There are some people that whenever this happens to them, sometimes they will go once, twice, 3 times, okay? So the pheromone people, it can go once, twice, 3 times, but sometimes they will move on to someone else and you're left with the pain. And this is why I want to break this down for people so that they can understand. And you know, being back here and I'm connecting with so many persons, because I remember the first time I was in the same close proximity in the car, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. And I was like, and then I tested out again. I was sitting down, and then I was like, there is something about you. I'm gonna find out what it is. Because I'm like this, I really study people. I love people. I study people. I think it's beautiful. I think people are beautiful. It depends on who you are. But people, there are some people who are just so beautiful, inside and outside. There are some people that has negative things, but the positive way out the negative, so you can basically forgive the person. There's just some people who just are so arrogant and so rude, but if you understand people, you're realizing that they're coming from a place of pain. Most people are not brutally arrogant because they want to. It's because they're coming from a place of pain, okay? And they get really irritant. And some people who can be very irritant is people who are not from this planet, because they can't figure out, why can't we just love each other? You know, what is so wrong that I was born there or you were born there, or, you know, it's all about love. Now, there are some people who are very sensitive, so we pick up on people's energies very quickly and we stay away. And the best thing to do is to close off yourself. And basically, if you know that you do not connect with someone, then you keep them at arm's length. So you do not have to disrespect them in any way, because you know that you have had a karmatic life with this person and it was not a positive place. Like some people, their partner like to go to this place for vacation, and some people partner, you know, want to go to somewhere else because they have had a lifetime somewhere else that they, when they're there, it brings back sad memories. And this is why I think we should all respect each other. And this is why I love the culture I've been in for the last couple of years, is because there are people who go on vacation with their girlfriends and with their friends and nothing is there, you know. It's because, you know, you want to go here, but I really don't like that place, so I'm going with my girls. And that is kind of good, because then you learn to trust each other, because it's all about that. You know, one partner wants to see that place and the other partner don't basically wants to go. So, you know, then maybe the other year they will go someplace. And I remember I had my best friend, because he was always so crazy for the islands, and he grew up in Holland in a little town. And I remember we went to the islands, and the day before he goes, he went on the beach and he was sitting and he was like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. And I'm like, I know, you got to go. And he says, it's the most beautiful island ever. And I know it's because you have had a lifetime there, and it brings back good, positive memory. And a lot of people do not understand. Some people will go to the same place on vacation. It's because it brings back good memories. And you know, we can't judge the people who goes on vacation and pick up these people on vacation because people like in the islands and that sort of a place, or in Africa that eat healthy, they actually have that pheromone, that clean pheromone that, you know, connect other people. So, you know, we need to stop judging each other, and as we understand that as we judge someone else, we're just judging ourselves. Each and every person has something weird about them. But the thing about it is that we need to forgive these men, because I think men and women have been, because, you know, if a woman is going to explain to you that I prefer, you know, to be whatever and do whatever, you cannot understand that person, because you're not understanding what is that person's journey and why is this person is here. Not everyone was meant to be a bank manager, not everyone was meant to be a doctor, not everyone was meant to be a nurse, not everyone was meant to be a lawyer, not everyone was meant to be a judge. There is each and every person that is on this planet for different things. I'm one of these people that is multi dimension, but I can just do anything that I put my head to. I'm one of those people that can create whatever. I'm always creating. I'm always looking beyond the illusion. I'm always finding out something that can help humanity. So there's a lot of people who are very creative because we think out of the box. We are not focused like on one thing. We think out of the box, what it is that can help another person. So, you know, apologies to all the men out there who, and I'm not, absolutely not taking up for you guys, but some of you have been misjudged because you're not aware of what is happening to you. The best thing to do is to start wearing deodorant, and, you know, you don't have to wear toxic, because there's a lot of new, like the powder ones that comes in powders, or they're soft, they're now no smell, that one you can use too, because it's new. I don't know if it's worldwide, but there is definitely a company in America that makes no smell, you know, for sensitive people and that sort of a thing, detergent, all that sort of a thing. I use their product. I wash with their sheets, because I like to have my bed sheet smelling just wonderful. I can sleep like 3 nights on my bed sheet. It's just something about that. I think my bed is supposed to just, no perfume. I don't want my sheets to smell of perfume and that sort of a thing. Another thing also is that people who, like, some people will intimate and then they won't shower. That is like, and then if you go out, and you're walking in the shopping center, you can always know the people who just had, who was just intimate and never shower, because it's as if the pheromone, when you're intimate with someone, it's as if it is still pumping, okay? It's an whoos. So if you, you know, think of a spray that, whenever you're entwined, intimate, you give off these energy vibration, okay? No, they come off in energy vibration, or they come out as chemical. That's why people can say some people are chemically unbalanced, okay? And it's just so it says bipolar. A lot of people coming up, oh, you're bipolar, oh, you're bipolar. Hello? When, since we're talking about bipolar, what is really bipolar? Is anyone bipolar? You know? And everyone is bipolar. Because if you think about it, everyone on this planet is bipolar. Think about that. So when you're going to point a finger to someone, especially over this bipolar thing, it doesn't have to do, it doesn't have to be bipolar. Some people can pick up energies, and as you pick up energies, this makes you unbalanced, because that is not your energy, okay? Because everyone have their own energy vibration, everyone have their own energy sync, you know? Some of you can pick up energies. So what is bipolar? Who came up with the name bipolar? Each and every one of us is bipolar. If you think about it, each and every one of us is bipolar. So whatever way you think about it, and this is why we need to stop judging each other, because you're judging someone, but yet still, it's like, okay, so I have a bottle of wine per evening. You're an alcohol, and Some people don't see it as being an alcoholist, but you are. If you have a glass of wine, it's supposed to be a glass of wine per day or 2 glasses of wine per day, because 2 glasses of red wine per day is very good, especially for the cancer cell. It's very good because if you notice, most Mediterranean people do not have cancer, and the reason is because they have red wine and olive. Okay, olive is the most healing source of that we have on this planet. Okay, so stop judging people, you know. And who are we to judge another person? I always just said I don't have any comment, or I just don't want to deal with someone because I know I've had a past life with them, and I feel their energy that they're not coming from an honest place, and they're not being honest. So I can feel that at the moment. Each and every one have that gift. It depends on how you use it. It depends on are you listening to your feelings, or are you feeling what is coming up? So, you know, there's a lot of sensitive people on this planet, and we need to like respect them. But for most of all, it is about the pheromone that people gives off, that people not aware of, and this is why they get in these you know, situation where a lot of people, yeah, you sleep around and this and this and that, but there's a reason why. People don't just get up and just, some people are just like that, they will get up and just do it. But it is that they have that crave within them, and that is the reason why they have to go out there, and they're not knowing that it is something that you can actually, you know, help to break down. And this is why this video is here. So leave your comment and let me know. Remember, stop judging each other, because this bipolar thing, ladies and gentlemen, each and every one of us on this planet is bipolar, trust me. You know, if we should really go back and research what is really bipolar, we are all bipolar. When people say bipolar, I'm always saying, can you spell the word bipolar? Stop judging people about this bipolar. Each and every person, we create our own destiny, but we also have we give off our own energy vibration, and this is the reason. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know if and how people are dealing with this, because I know a lot of people, a lot of women, you know, get in the situation where their partner sleeps around and not really knowing why. Some of them are just being very greedy. I can't say that. I can say that. Some of them just, you know, very greedy. But on another hand, if you are in a relationship doesn't stop. Because that's it. Some people can start this beautiful relationship and the chemistry and everything is there, and then boom. And then one partner start looking outside because the chemistry that was there is not there anymore. So that aligns you to find who is it that I'm connecting with. And that will be my other video, where I will explain to people the signs. I will explain each and every zodiac signs, and explain to you who is more compatible. Some of us need to be having these relationships, and I'm gonna do a twin flame video for you guys, because a lot of twin flames and a lot of people who know that they're twin flame, because you know, people know that their twin flame is there. People who they know that their twin flame is there, and the easiest way to find out your twin flame, it's in your date of birth. Okay, that's where it is. You know, I can give you one secret of where your twin flame is, and you can find out if you have a twin flame in this lifetime. Some people know deep within that, I know my twin flame is there. Some people, we give out, yeah, I know that they're their twin flame, and then I'm doing this reading and I'm checking their date of birth, and because they know the twin flame is there. Sometimes the twin flame connects with them in their sleep. Like, I have a girlfriend in Europe, and she was like, hey, I gotta talk to you, I gotta talk to you, I gotta talk to you. And she was like, don't look at me crazy. I'm like, I'm like, do you know what I do? And she said, I constantly meeting someone in my dream. And I said, yeah, that is your twin flame. And she said, oh my God, I know you would look at me crazy. No, because a lot of people meet their twin flame in their dream time. Some people will not have relationship because they're meeting their twin flame in dream times, and you can't explain that to the normal person because they think that you're just cuckoo. And that is when we reach the point, people. If you don't understand something, that doesn't make the other person crazy. Okay, you got to research things. As my son always said, Mom, Google that shit. And that's the most beautiful thing. My partner and I, he's like, oh my God, you two are so much alike. And we will have these conversations, Google that shit, you know? And, you know, no matter what people say with your kids and that sort of a kids, the love between you and your kid will never broken, no matter who will try and do that, okay? It was the same situation I have with my parents, and you know, life brings you what you want and who you are. Enjoy this video. Let me know what's happening to you guys out there. Leave a comment. Namaste.